Instagram.
Carla,
I'll be posting these thirst traps on your stories. I'm about to say that's what it is. You be getting spicy lately.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Take a picture in your camisole or whatever.
Right, look cute, might delete, and it don't delete.
The milkshake's bringing the boys to the yard. Yeah. What can I say?
Oh, girl, you got frozen yogurt at best.
Shut your face. That's why I don't like you. What's up, people? Welcome to Relative Distance with Carla, aka CB, and Gregg, aka G.Dot, coming to you straight from the East and West Coast of these United States of America. What's up, bruv?
What up, sis?
We in here, and we have our first returning guest.
Uh-oh.
To Relative Distance.
Thank you.
Special times call for a special occasion. So we are so thrilled to have Shianna Watson back on Relative Distance to talk about all of the things. Welcome, yes. Shianna.
Thank you so much for having me.
She ready. You think she's still, is Tiffany Haddish still doing that, you think? Because if so, she ready.
She should stop. She
ready.
So if you guys don't know the Shianna backstory, go back to Hoe Seed Time and Harvest episode. I don't know what number that is, but it's at the beginning. And you can learn all about our relationship with Shianna and that first conversation that was very, very colorful. So we are back. How you been, Shianna?
I've been good. Yeah. How are y'all doing? Holding it down.
We're here. We're here.
I'm good, man. California's reopening.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, man. Gyms are open. In dining, restaurants, schools are open.
Okay.
Yeah,
the schools are open.
Schools are open, yep. So, yeah.
Have they opened up the vaccinations to all of the people?
April 15th.
All right.
Work.
Yeah.
Shots.
We'll see. Yeah, man.
Offered up that arm, like, put that needle in this man meat. I'm ready.
That's right. Give me your hot load. Or I guess it's cold. It's very, very cold.
It's a cold.
Because they gotta be kept at sub-zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Whatever. Just unload your load into my body.
Right.
This is our
ready to receive it.
No, so it's good. It's good. Just hanging out, man.
Excellent. Well, we have a lot to cover today. So we're going to zoom quickly through our What in the World segment because there's a lot happening in the world. First thing we want to do, if you haven't noticed, G.Dot, my sis Shianna and I are wearing our Michigan paraphernalia because we are the last Big Ten team left in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's good. Congratulations.
The whole Big Ten, everybody else is carpooled on their way home from Indianapolis because everyone failed.
I'm not watching it, so I do have a question.
Oh,
sure.
Are they because they're in a bubble? Are they playing straight through, or are they doing it the same tournament pacing that they normally do, where it's every weekend?
It's pacing. So they had games on Monday, and the next games are Saturday.
Okay.
So I guess.
What about the Lady Buckeyes? How they doing?
I don't know, but I know the Lady Wolverines are in the Sweet 16.
Okay. I was gonna say, no, if you didn't know what was up with the Lady Wolverines, then I was like, there's a reason that their gym looks like that. Because no one's paying attention.
Rude.
They did get a full gym.
I saw.
Yes.
Fixed it, Jesus. And secondly, yes, the Lady Wolverines beat the Tennessee Volunteers and are in the Sweet 16 for the first time in program history.
Go ahead, girls.
Go Blue.
Okay.
Doing it well. So
I'm posing because y'all know I don't really follow the sports. I just be like,
hey! I'm like the only one that's actually watching the games.
Yeah, you're there for the tailgate.
Yes, thank you. I'm there for the celebration. Yeah. I love a tailgate. I love the celebration.
We do love a tailgate.
Yay, sports.
Shianna's sports shorts.
Yes.
But no, we play again Sunday. We are playing Florida State. So that's interesting for me because I'm in Florida. And so I have a lot of Florida State people around me. But we should win. Knock on wood.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Yeah,
I believe Michigan's favored to win.
The whole thing?
That game.
Oh, okay. Who's favorite to win the whole thing? Who's like the number one?
I think Gonzaga.
That's right. That's who Obama picked.
Yeah.
I think I read that.
He hates
well,
us.
I didn't read it. Let me be clear. I didn't read it. I very quickly zoomed past the headline that said Obama picks Gonzaga in his bracket. I was like, who cares?
Isn't that how we all read the news these days?
Right.
Scrolling.
Well, that's going to be my through line, I think, for this episode is who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I think Barack picked Gonzaga to win.
He
so,
did.
you know, they better fall to his, they better bend to his will or else, you know.
He doesn't have any
they're
power.
gonna end
He's
up
a
in the
former president.
Well, they're going to end up in the basement of the pizza place or whatever.
Oh,
Not
the
pizza.
Gate?
Right. Pizzagate.
Let's not get QAnon excited now.
Right.
I know they
Turn-
all listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn it into Rush Limbaugh died, so we got to fill that void.
Oh, no. Just let it be empty.
Fair enough. No.
Leave the vacancy where it needs to be.
No.
Although you don't care, I have something I'm excited about. I want to care about. And I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention, which is Issa Rae inking this 8-figure deal with media. Come on,
Ooh.
sis! She started
Yes.
a web series and is now
Which I loved.
multimillionaire.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
out here doing
Close.
it.
She's close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I love it.
So let's say 8 figures, right? 50% of that goes to taxes. 10% of that goes to your agent. 15% of that goes to your manager.
Listen.
So quick math. You're at 500 minus another, let's call it 10. Oh yeah, she got like 2 or 3 mil out of that.
She has more coins than me. And so good kudos. And listen, I only got like 2 quarters to rub together and I just be making it work. So kudos to her for manifesting everything. Listen, she got a pocket full of quarters. Like, you said, can I borrow $5? I'm good for it on the first. I feel like she's just manifested like everything that was in her little plan, her vision. Like, kudos to her. And she's just employing all the other people. Like, if she gets a check, everybody eats. Like, she makes sure everybody get a check too. So I give her much props.
We did not celebrate Tyler Perry passing a Billy on this. Well, I think that happened while this podcast was airing. I guess who cares? I guess because who cares?
Go Tyler.
Whatever.
I feel like that happened a while ago, but maybe
no. It was recently since the podcast started.
Hold on, I'm gonna holler.
Clickety.
I got it.
Now, Shianna, let me ask you a question while Carla does her.
Oh my goodness!
Do you watch Insecure?
Do I watch Insecure? I've watched episodes. I don't watch it. Again, it's only because of sleep. I'm tired. Okay. It's only because of sleep, and we have HBO, because again, we only got 2 quarters to rub together. We log in through Will's parents' HBO account to watch stuff.
Okay. Well,
so
I can't say anything about that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't watch it consistently. Like, I've watched a few episodes here and there, but I was obsessed with her webisode with Awkward Black Girls, that series. So undergrad, like, I'm telling you, like, we locked and loaded every time a new episode was uploaded to YouTube. Like, I was obsessed with that show. So I mean, just go.
They should make those available on HBO Max.
I would love that.
Are they still on
especially
YouTube?
now that it's on
no,
YouTube.
like make it's on YouTube, but
make it like so you can watch them
paywall.
watch them on HBO Max. Yeah, dude. Like, why not?
Put it behind the paywall. Why not?
Oh,
because they own her. They own her and all her children. I mean, with that, I'm sure that deal, there's some fine print in that deal.
Well, hopefully she has a good lawyer.
What'd you find out?
Tyler Perry became a billionaire in September, so it was pre-relative distance.
Oh, just barely.
Well, I mean, he out here providing security for the royals and whatnot. So I mean, I give Tyler his due. He's out here doing his thing.
Who saw that wrinkle coming in that story, right?
Listen,
you know what wrinkle I didn't see coming? I know that you probably don't have this on your list, but I was just reading that Nipsey Hussle's family settled the marathon lawsuit with Crips LLC. Now, here's what's yeah. So I had to do some. So the Crips, the gang that Nipsey was with, has an LLC and a corporate branch of their gang affiliation. I'm not joking. I just read
listen.
I was like, what?
Even the bangers gotta have their ducks in a row. Hustlers, they gotta.
It's like Barksdale Incorporated. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, man.
Like,
that's what Stringer was trying to do.
Oh my god.
That's what Stringer was, but Avon didn't want to hear
it. Listen.
Trying to legitimize some business. I mean, merchandising, I assume, would go through that LLC branch. I mean, they should probably have S-corped, but I'm not gonna.
Whatever. You're not a tax.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do. I'm not an accountant, so I don't know.
All right, get it.
So, do you think that they have the Crip Walk like copyrighted?
I bet if it's in Fortnite, somebody got paid.
Fair. Well, about to say, not everybody got paid off their little Fortnite dances. Alfonso Ribeiro and his Carlton dance. He didn't get to see it. Right. He tried. He didn't get a dime.
Yeah.
He didn't have an LLC. He should have had Carlton dance.
Right. Should have been following right.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Oh wow,
that's crazy.
That was a very interesting tidbit of information.
Yeah, for sure. So what else has been happening? I haven't been paying attention.
Tidbits. So one gentleman named Jensen Karp posted on Twitter the other day. Have you seen this, G.Dot? B.Dot? That he opened up his bag of the delicious and delectable Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and when he poured out his cereal, shrimp tails came out of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch bag. He put it on Twitter, and the folks on Twitter said that the Cinnamon Toast Crunch replied and said that looks like sugar. So it's become a whole thing now where they, I guess, asked him to send the shrimp tails into the lab or into the Cinnamon Toast Crunch headquarters. What is it, General Mills, perhaps, to have the shrimp tails evaluated. And it became viral. Now, Jensen Karp is married to one Danielle Fishel, who played Topanga on Boy Meets World. So that makes it interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing has been like a ride. Like, not only it has, like, there's been so many things that's happened. Like, he, found the little shrimp, his cinnamon toast shrimp or whatever, and blew up. It was all viral. So now all of his like exes, people that used to work with him, have been calling him out on like how he's an abusive, manipulative, like jerk and a psychopath. Yeah. So he's like secretly a psychopath. And so, and then people are like, oh, he's a milkshake duck. And I'm like, what's a milkshake duck? So then I end up down this rabbit trail of Twitter from like 2016, like someone wrote a tweet of like, oh, look at this adorable duck drinking a milkshake, and the duck goes viral, and they're giving this like fake scenario of like, oh, look at this adorable duck, it's drinking a milkshake, we regret to inform you that the duck is racist. And so then anything that goes viral that ultimately like becomes like kind of problematic, it becomes a milkshake duck. So now everybody's bringing milkshake duck back up again in Twitter, and I'm like, this has been a ride. So now people think that he was faking it, that he really didn't have the shrimp in there, that he like put cinnamon toast sprinkles on the shrimp. Yeah, they look dusted, but then he was like the package was taped, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch is now saying like don't open up any packages that are taped, and he's blaming Costco. It's been a whole thing. And so now people are like now finding out that he's like a horrible person, and that he might be a milkshake.
That escalated so quickly.
In a day, receipts came up. And then also random bit of trivia, Chance the Rapper ends up getting in the mix because this guy, right, it's the whole thing. I spend way too much time on the internet. So Chance the Rapper tweeted, was like, oh yeah, this is the dude that gave me $5,000 to make a music video when I was broke. And I'm like, wait, what? And then dude posts a video of him giving Chance the Rapper the check. And
he recorded that moment.
It was a part of some whole like thing, like, oh, making this music video. And then Chance the Rapper, picks up the $5,000 check and like rubbing it on his face. It's a weird thing. But yeah, if you just look up Chance the Rapper's timeline, he calls old dude out like, hey, yeah, this is my friend because he gave me 5 stacks to make a video. God. So that's another tidbit,
Well, so this dude is going to get canceled because
absolutely,
because he tried to hustle Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I hope he doesn't lose to Topanga. Now, I don't know how she looks because like even as Woody's world
banging.
Is she banging because
still
yeah, because she got progressively wider. Like I don't mean like she gained weight. Thick. I mean like her face just got wider. Yeah, like it's weird. It happens. It's weird. It almost looks like she drowned in a river and they were dredging her body out. Like when I went back and saw
not a bloated corpse from like Law and Order. Like we're not giving her the Law and Order cadaver treatment. No, not Topanga.
She's also still very cute. So there's a lot going on.
It's a cute corpse.
It's a cute corpse. It's a good looking corpse. What did Die Young leave a good looking corpse?
Oh my God. Well, listen, I follow the same mindset as a comedian I really enjoy, Tony Baker, who says, yes. Look, I don't care if they find shrimp scampi, measuring tape, syringes, used baby bibs, a Phillips head screwdriver, pimp fingernail clippings, and a Declaration of Independence in that box. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is one of the best cereals of all time.
Top tier. Top tier. Yeah, if we're doing a bracket, right? Ooh. If we're doing a bracket of cereal, they're winning it.
All right, hold on. I can throw together a Sweet 16 of cereal real quick.
Yes, I'm here for it.
I think I can do this off the top of my head. Hold on, let me get a piece of paper.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. Oh, here's a piece of paper. Okay, so we're gonna throw. So we're gonna do Cinnamon Toast Crunch versus Lucky Charms.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh, that's tough though.
That should have been the finals.
That's the final. That's a hard one. You went too hard to paint too soon. Your seeding has failed.
Yeah.
Right, let's do Frosted Flakes versus Captain Crunch.
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes.
Up the top of your mouth, but you make your
mouth is through. Especially if it's like regular Captain Crunch. We're not talking about Oops All Berries. We're not talking about peanut butter, the regular joint. No.
All right.
Get them out of here.
Your soft palate is jacked.
All right. So we have Captain Crunch. All right. So that's over. We have Frosted Flakes out. Lucky Charms out.
No, Frosted Flakes are not out. Captain Crunch is out.
Captain Crunch is out.
Captain Crunch is out. Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Frosted Flakes is in.
All right. So Captain Crunch versus Lucky Charms, just for the consolation prize.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Okay. All right. I don't know. I love me some Captain Crunch. All right.
We are not on your team.
Yeah, it has to be peanut butter or the berries. That's the only Captain Crunch I'm with.
All right. Let's do Honey Nut Cheerios versus Count Chocula.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Top tier.
Okay. All right. So I need one more. All right.
This is Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. We've got them. All right. So we've got. I can't think of any cereals.
You got Corn Pops. You got Smacks.
Yeah.
You got
Smacks are gross.
I like Fruit Loops, Honey Grams. I like Honey Grams. Golden Grams. That's the Honey Grams. Golden Grams.
Tricks.
Ooh.
Fruit
Loops.
All right. Okay.
I vote for
Fruit Loops
or Tricks.
Fruit Loops versus Frosted Flakes.
Oh, Fruit Loops.
All right. So we got.
I don't know. Okay. I'm still deliberating. I would reach for Fruit Loops first. I might.
Really? Frosted Flakes?
I probably would reach for Fruit Loops
over first. Fruit Loops. Yeah. All right.
I used to call them Bloop Loops when I was little. Bloop Loops.
You got to see David Allen Greer. You have to see the video of David Allen Greer as Maya Angelou describing Fruit Loops. Just putting that out there. The best in living color skit ever.
Exist? Oh, it's in living color.
It's the best in living color skit ever. Just have to put that out there for Fruit Loops.
I'll put a note.
It's great.
All right. All right. So we have we have Honey Nut Cheerios versus Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I love Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah. All right. So the finals are Cinnamon Toast Crunch versus Fruit Loops.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, it's a goat. That was a long walk, but we just proved my point.
But we made it. You're right. It's the best.
We are on one accord.
We are. And we didn't even throw in like the Raisin Bran Crunch, which I do enjoy. Honey Bunches of Oats, also enjoy. The more grown-up cereals.
Those are grown-up cereals. We have a grown-up bracket. Like
Raisin
Bran versus.
But they're still delicious.
What's that one called?
Oh, grape nuts? No, that's gravel. I hope no one eats grape nuts. I don't know why that exists. It's neither a grape nor a nut. It's disgusting.
You see, this dude, and I'm thinking about this guy. What's his name? The guy who was what do you call him? The mud duck? What do you say?
Milkshake duck. Yes, milkshake duck.
Jensen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jensen.
So this guy was eating dry Cinnamon Toast Crunch off of Topanga's booty, and like he's like, you know what? I got a quick scheme to make. I
enjoy a dry Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mean.
Yeah, and he was like, yo, Topanga, check this out. I'm gonna put some of the shrimp from my pad thai into this box, shake it up real good, and then I'm gonna I'm going to tweet it out. I'm about to get paid. She's like, don't do that. And then he's like, I'm going to do it. And he did it. And then all of a sudden, all his ex-girlfriends started spilling all his tea. And then she's like, you know what? Get the bowl off my booty. I seen what you did before I met you. And that's it. And now he's going to be living in a trailer, asking Chance for his $5,000 back.
I need you to run that.
I need that back. Yeah, I need that back, man. Plus interest, bro. Plus interest.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, moral of the story is what?
I mean, keep eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you find something in the box, to their brand,
throw it out, like Tony Baker said.
Right.
Because it's
to yourself.
Time.
Right. Keep that to yourself.
Well, this
I'm
is
still
an
eating
interesting segue because you mentioned the ex-girlfriends coming out the woodwork and out my boy, and that takes us right to what we need to talk about on today.
Wait, before we go there, I want to send a quick R.I.P. Jessica Walter.
She did pass today.
Yes.
She passed today, and George Segal, who passed away like 2 days ago.
And George Segal, shout out because we talked about George Segal in episode I don't know what about Denzel and Carbon Copy. He started opposite Denzel Washington and Carbon Copy. So
Okay. All right, but so as you were saying, sorry, before I rudely interrupted.
That's fine. We gotta give our piece to those that deserve.
That was right, a necessary interjection.
Before we get to the mess.
Right. Pour some out for the homies.
Before we get to this foolishness.
All right.
So, ex-girlfriends. Right. So there is one who, okay, let me start like saying this. On Monday morning, I had no idea what a Derek Jackson was.
Listen.
None.
I had no idea. By the end of Monday, was it Monday, maybe Tuesday? I realized that there was a man named Derek Jackson who has chosen to eliminate very important vowels and consonants from his last name to just spell it Jaxn, which is not how you spell Jackson. Anyway,
I don't care for that. I don't care for this man.
Right, already spelling right off rip.
Right there.
Just the spelling alone.
Letters. You don't respect English. You don't respect consonants.
Your vowel, right?
Already, you got a problem.
Already.
Yeah, so set this up for me because I don't know who this nigger is. Like he came out of nowhere.
Like
it's not out of nowhere because he lives on the side of the internet of men who are obtuse and in women's business. Like there's a whole genre
like
of foolishness. Yes, they come from the book of Steve Harvey of act like a woman, think like a man, whatever the foolishness he made. But it's a whole, bevy of dudes who go online and give advice to women. So I knew who he was. I never watched his videos because he always records them in his car, and I think that's stupid. And I also think it's stupid when men are in women's business. So I just ignored him. But I mean, I used to see him on my timeline all the time on Facebook. Like there's a certain demographic of people that enjoy this genre of foolishness. So he's been on the scene. Mm-hmm. The rest of the internet where we live, where sane people live, we didn't know about him for real, but he has quite the following.
Okay, now dig, if you will, the picture, right?
Yes.
That Twitter is a huge house in the middle of the Hollywood Hills, right?
Okay.
And there's a party going on at this house.
Mm-hmm.
And when you walk into the foyer, there's a bar and there's a DJ. This is cool. This is a cool little party, And you hang out in that whole area. Only later do you find out that there's a whole back half of the house that has a whole other party going. That is where I'm in the foyer with Twitter. I don't know how to get on Black Twitter. I don't know how to find what a milkshake duck is. I don't know how to really even check a news feed and read an entire story without clicking on the link behind the paywall. So I don't know what you guys are finding and who this dude is and where he lives, because he did not exist to me until I got this text from Carl.
You live on the good side, right? Because anywhere he is the bad place. Like I swear, you are in the good place.
Okay.
You're neighbors with people, who got sense. I unfortunately live in all types of foolish places on the internet. I'm just gonna let you know now. Like Where I live,
the bathroom is.
Listen, I know the after party for some reason. I am the plug to every corner of the internet. Foolishness, churchy Twitter, Black Twitter, foolishness Twitter. I mean, I'm
merges.
And it all convenes on my timeline, and I welcome you. I can suggest people to follow that will diversify your feed, but yeah, these people definitely live in a certain area of the internet, and it's okay if you don't live there. It's okay.
There's also apparently porno Twitter that I did not know.
Yeah, there's a porno Twitter.
Oh,
for sure.
Yes.
I did not know anything about it.
It's there.
I mean,
because once they took Tumblr down, Twitter was the only place you could go for free. Why do I know this?
That's not
right. Why are you admitting it? It's okay to know it, but you admitted it.
Because of the
Listen, Twitter after dark. It goes down.
All right, so this guy is clearly from his video a guru, as he called
a relationship. Yes,
he did say guru at least once.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so he's self-proclaimed guru.
Yes.
I don't know how many acolytes he has. All right, so how many followers does he have? I'm just curious.
I don't know, but apparently his follower count has increased since this whole scandal.
At least,
yeah. So he's had a following. Again, I get his videos from random people I see on the internet and friends and such. But
see what he's doing on YouTube.
He's got quite a following, especially on Facebook.
So Carl, let's set this up then, because
so the information was sent to me via a friend, which I had never even heard of this guy. So he has made his platform is basically warning single, mostly Black, I guess, women against niggas and how niggardly niggas can be, how to avoid a bad man, how to, stand up in your basically womanhood to prevent yourself from being hurt by men.
Right. These are the signs. Yeah.
What to look for, what to avoid. So basically,
isn't that mansplaining?
But coming from a man, it's supposed to have more credibility because it's like, it's coming from a Black man. He's talking about Black men, so he must know what he's talking about, right?
Right.
So it's not mansplaining because it's not necessarily something that women are supposed to know. It's like, this is how we think. Kind of with
trying to put you on game.
I got you.
Exactly that. So apparently he was putting women on his own game because Monday or Tuesday came out his mistress. One of his mistresses, Candace De Medeiros, who is an Instagram, she's like a great value influencer because she only has 10,000 followers.
Not great value.
She's sort of like a quasi. She's like mildly influential. She's not she's not verified on Instagram.
Oh no! I bet you will be.
There's no blue check mark. I checked.
No, I bet you will be after this, right?
Listen.
I don't know. It's been 5 days. She still has no blue check mark.
Wow.
Anywho, she came out. She was speaking to a vlogger on her podcast who basically she just divulged that Mr. Derek Jackson, with no appropriate vowels in his name, had flew her out to Atlanta.
Come on.
She came to his home while the wife was away with the kids in another city, I think in Colorado, visiting family. And she was laid up in his marital bed. She had taken some photos just to prove that she was there, receipts or whatnot.
Right.
But she didn't know at the time. She said that they were like actively married. He was just telling her that they were separated. So once I guess she discovered that he was actively married, she decided to take it to the streets. So this all came out on Monday, I want to say. Was it Monday? It was this week, a day this week. So she outed him. Yes. So Tuesday, Sir Jackson got on Al Gore's internet via Instagram with his wife, DeAndrea. Am I saying her name right?
I don't know.
I don't think she knows what her name is from the videos I saw. So you can call her whatever.
Miss Jackson.
Are you sorry? So he had her hand in a tight clasp.
Oh, sure did.
Like a circulation killing clasp.
Had her yoked up.
There you go. to proclaim to the internet, yes, I did this. I betrayed my marital vows. She, for some reason, chose to just show up like she rolled up out of bed. So for those who are not watching, my sis, Shianna Watson, Shianna C. Watson, came prepared with the hair bonnet that she has now donned.
No, my helmet of salvation, get it right.
She came, she ready.
She ready.
She showed up with her husband, tight hand clasp, bonneted up.
Oh, Jesus.
To let us know after he divulged, I had sexual relationships with these women. I had them in my bed. I blase blue blue. She sat there. She admitted that she left and came back.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Pause right there.
That's a good
quick timeline check. So,
okay.
From what they said in the video was that this happened months ago.
Yes.
They broke it.
Supposedly it's September.
But when were the pictures posted on Homegirl's Instagram?
Not until like this week.
Interesting.
It didn't blow up for the world till now, but she apparently knew when it went down.
Yeah.
I see.
She found out through other means when it went down.
Okay.
So she rolled out. She left. She wasn't sure if she was coming back, apparently, but she said once she saw that he was a changed man through his relationship with the Lord, she decided to come on back. So there's that. So after sis posted her, after they posted their video, the internet went nuts. The internet lost their mind.
Collective minds.
Because one was, bro, why are you here doing this with this wife in this death clasp? Secondly, sis, are you there voluntarily?
Listen.
Twice if you need assistance.
I got a couple of screen grabs. The only thing I like screen grabbing more is stopping Breaking or Breaking 2 and getting Shabadu's funny faces. Other than that, the second was taking screen grabs of her face.
Oh, her face.
I got one. I think I sent it to the group chat. I had one good one. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
So to make matters worse, let me offer before I move on to the next part of this chapter, because it's so much. Any reactions to the video of sis and hubby Jackson with no vowels in his last name? What are your thoughts, people?
Oh my goodness, there's so many thoughts. Like, why are you on the internet, first of all, talking about how, let me talk about this video with this dude. He talks about how he doesn't, if any one of us put him on the pedestal, he doesn't deserve to be on a pedestal because he's not perfect. But your entire brand is you being a relationship guru while you out here in these streets. No one puts you on a pedestal. You put yourself there. Like, I just don't understand the purpose of this video, because you want to make it seem like you are this united front, which we'll get to her follow-up videos, trying to convince us to drink, whatever she got going on over there. I'm trying my best not to use the phrasing and try to trivialize what happened with, folks drinking the Flavorade and whatnot. Yeah, so I don't want to trivialize that. And the cult. However, we
don't want to invoke Jonestown, but
I'm not going Jonestown, but she is caught up in something.
Yeah.
But we're not even getting to all of that. But just looking at the sheer purpose of that first initial video was for what? Why? Why, sir? Why? Tell me.
They were trying to desperately, from what I saw, they were trying to save whatever brand recognition he thought he had created. Like, that was like, it was like, remember when Ray Rice and his wife got into and she was like, I love him, let him play because that's our livelihood. Like, she was banking on the M's. She was like, we're making this money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you back in the league and we're gonna, eat lobster and
That's real money. What is Derek Jackson doing with his YouTube?
I'm about to say, is he making? I mean, granted, his follower count has gone up.
Oh, I'm supposed to look at that. Yeah.
Okay. And he's supposed to. I think he was making a book, and now he's promoting said book. Now that everybody's like on, he's on everybody's radar, so now he's promoting the book. I don't know who's about to buy this foolishness.
733,000 subscribers on YouTube.
How many?
733K.
Right,
he'd be better off
than Kevin Samuels.
Right. Who's also a hot mess.
We didn't talk about him.
I'd buy his book if it was How to Pick Up Chicks. because he's really good at that.
Apparently.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Whatever his healthy relationship is, it doesn't seem like that was on display.
Listen.
No, not a healthy relationship at all. And people keep talking about like, he's talking about, this is in the past. And I've heard other folks talk about, this is marital business. Why do we, even want to, have commentary or opinions on it? They brought it to my internet. Like, I wasn't looking for this. Like,
nobody knew who he was on Monday.
Listen, I scroll past every video I've ever seen of him. The only reason why I'm watching these now is because they're everywhere. Like y'all decided, like it's comedy
here now, making parodies and
right, ain't nobody asked to be a part of this narrative. I'd like to be excluded from this narrative. I want somebody to unplug your router, like disconnect your data plan, like just
rest,
get out.
They haven't rested because the next day. Derek Jackson felt it would be a Jackson with missing important consonants and vowels. I'm going to say it every time because his name pisses me off. It's trash.
It should.
The next day, he went on YouTube. I don't know if the video is still up or not, but the internet, screenshots.
It never dies. It's there.
It's there somewhere.
It's there. You can find it.
He said, "Hey, somebody was in my comments saying, hey, you should record a reaction to your video." And
lies.
So he said,
your burner account count. Yeah. Your burner account.
A Russian bot.
Right. Bro, said you should do a reaction.
You should make a reaction video. It'll be hilarious.
Right. Your friend, whoever they went for counsel, because mind you, they never said they actually go to counseling or therapy. Right. They just said we sought counsel. So whoever you sought counsel probably counseled you.
That's a good point.
Because there's a difference between counsel and going to counseling.
He said men of God. He said we looked at men of God.
Amanda of God.
Amanda of God, who is probably very problematic. And let me not say that because we don't know that. I don't want to generalize. I have issues. But anyway, the next day.
We can say, I will bet money on it that whoever they went to for counsel was not a licensed trained therapist. I can say that with confidence.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Maybe and he definitely didn't tell this person, Derek Jackson, with missing important consonants and vowels, to go on internet and record a reaction video to himself.
Yeah.
But he did. Not only did he do this, he did it in third person, as if he were some outside viewer watching this video. And not only did he report it in third person, but he clowned his wife in the video for what she had on for the hair bonnet and looking like a prisoner in the video, and then promoted his book after it was over.
How long was the video? I only saw a minute. I
saw about 2 minutes screen grab.
Yeah, I only watched the first couple minutes because I could not stomach. After he said, I'm going to talk in the third person, that was like, okay, you are a plumb fool. Like, I'm not about to entertain and waste my time, my data, or my brain cells watching this whole thing because you a fool to announce that you are about to talk in third person. No, I'm not watching this.
You imagine what she deals with when the cameras are off?
What she deals with, what the both of them deal with, because they both out here.
I was about to say, because I skipped over the fact that day she recorded a video on Instagram on her own account, basically saying that being cute is not my ministry. And her ministry is not being cute. That it's all about spiritual warfare.
Then what is her ministry?
I don't know.
Her husband, her family, who she's fighting for, and Yeah, that's what I said. Like something is going on. I don't know what house of worship they going to, but it's definitely one of the very, charismatic, probably, because all she talks about is spiritual warfare. Everything's a demon. Right. Everything's a demon.
So to set up her video, from what I saw, she traded out her reaction video where she was dressed like a G.I. Joe soldier.
Okay.
There's two.
With a beret. She had a beret on.
There's two?
There's two.
I've only seen the one when she had.
I sent you.
I saw that one.
There's a second one.
Oh Lord.
So the one I'm referring to was the same day, and that's when she said that it was spiritual warfare and that her ministry was not, some women sit up here and just try to sit up and be cute and sit up straight and have their hair done and have the appropriate lighting, and that is not my ministry. But clearly it's her husband's ministry because that's what he was after.
Oh Lord.
But the video you saw, Gregg, is probably the other one, right?
And I don't understand. Like, hold on, let me go back to this. What's her ministry? What ain't her ministry? And then we'll get to some of the theological foolishness that sets precedent and breeds this. Whose chickens are coming home to roost? On display? We're just showing the whole environment. This is probably going on in a whole lot of folks' household. We'll get to that. But this whole looking cute ain't my ministry. Ma'am, so when you look to the word of God, Jesus even says that when you fast, don't make it look like you fasted. Put on, like, wash up. Like he was like, don't be out here looking all sullen and looking a mess, just like having this outward idea of like piety and pious and holiness because you looking rough. She was like, wash your face, put some clothes on. If the Son of God tells you to put some clothes on and look right when you fasting, ma'am, your ministry better have some Fenty, some something. Like I say, you gotta be out here, face beat. My eyebrows look a mess. My edges may not be the most laid, but come on now. You don't gotta be out here, laying and slaying. But even for yourself, especially we're gonna spiritualize it and say, what's your ministry? What ain't your ministry? Mm-hmm. Can we at least acknowledge that even Jesus said, don't look a hot mess when you even out here fasting and trying to be holy? Even the Lord said, look right.
She must have skipped
let me ask you this question. Sorry,
mm-hmm.
Carl.
No, go ahead.
No, let me ask you a question. So, can I just say whenever I want that I have my ministry or something? Like, don't you have to have some? Can't you just say whatever you? No, I feel like that you can't just say you have a ministry and have it qualify as such.
Well, I mean, that's church talk. So whenever, so you would say in real life, you would be like, okay, that's not my wheelhouse. Like I would say okay, doing hair, doing makeup, being a baddie, like that's probably not my wheelhouse. I'm not out here being a baddie, but let me tell you what I'm not. I'm not homely. Your girl gonna be cute. Your girl gonna be together. So I'm gonna say my ministry is, definitely being out here, having my life together. But I would say having a beat face, that's not my ministry. Or being a baddie, walking around like, an X, Y, and Z and Fashion Nova's finest, that's not my ministry, and that's just like church talk for saying like, that's not my wheelhouse.
But I would argue that the fact that they have so many Twitter followers, Instagram followers, they believe they do have a ministry.
He does.
That they are speaking to people.
He does.
She probably does too. How many Instagram
Where's she
followers?
come from? Hold on.
Not really. So what's funny is in all of his videos, because that's just like he has more of a following on Facebook than Instagram. Like if you see his videos have a ton of views on Facebook, because that's where all good sense goes to die, is Facebook in general. But in his videos, and this is honestly my first time ever seeing her, because in his videos it's always him in the car. So I honestly didn't even know he was married because he never showed his wife. Like she never is in his videos ever. She's always been in the background, and apparently he's always said that she never wanted to really be on screen like that. It's always just been him in his car giving advice to women who, he slides in their DMs. Oh, it's clearly a reason.
Now,
maybe not today.
79.9.
I want to be on the show, Ricky.
Now, but I don't know if that's how.
No, Lucy.
Yeah, she has almost 80,000 followers now, but that might be after.
Yeah, because her Instagram, what I've seen of screenshots, is problematic. Like the girl has some issues that need to be unpacked with a licensed professional. I mean, I know folks gonna get these jokes off, and it is what it is. The jokes write themselves. Literally. And at the same time, this is a true reflection of such problematic theology and why the need for mental health is so necessary and why the need for sound theology is necessary, why the need for a good, sound theology and sexual politic is necessary, like why we have to have a good idea and understanding of sexual health and sexuality in our bodies and consent and, you know, a good idea of self-worth and being created in God's image. All of that is necessary, right? Because when you don't have good examples of that or sound foundation, sound theology, this is the product of that. I mean, and she's one of many, because a lot of her posts, she's talking about how she used to like scroll through and save, you know, porn on her phone and like women that she knew. Yeah, she said she had on her phone because she would look and see what the women were doing so that she could try and recreate it in the bedroom. Or she would look at how, you know, the other women that her husband was lusting after or whatever and cheating on her with, you know, that they were all dark-skinned women. And apparently she has an issue with complexion because she even talked about her daughter being dark-skinned and that bothered her. Like she has issues that I believe that he just capitalized on because he's a horrible person. And unfortunately,
bitches.
Right. And the thing is, she's not light skinned. She my complexion.
I wish she was darker. And just keeps pushing. Just keeps walking to the bathroom.
And she's my complexion. She's not even dark. Oh, that's a good question. She looks young. But you know, black folks, we deceive, and somebody can, you know, look young and be, you know, 40 something,
or look old, or like LeBron James and Morgan Freeman, like those cats look like they were 40 when they were in their 20s. So yeah, I'm curious.
I don't know, but they've been together for a while, I guess, since, you know, college years.
They've been married for 4 years, though. Only married for 4 years.
Right. So yeah, baby marriage, and I think they've also like kind of new in the whole, you know, Jesus thing too. So that's another layer.
Oh, he was born in 89, so like makes him how old?
Are you serious?
89?
32.
Yeah.
At the oldest.
I'm older. Oh, I'm old. Anyway.
That's crazy. Now, and he said in that video, very quickly brushed over that this is his second marriage.
Oh, it is?
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, I missed that.
He said the first marriage was a complete failure. It was the first thing he says in the very first video. He's like, the first marriage was a complete failure. And this one, you know, I'm trying to do right, blah, 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 blah.
He really following after Steve then, huh? He really trying to take a page out of Steve Harvey book. Like, let me marry all the people.
His wife is 31.
Okay, yeah, she's young. Yeah.
You know what it seems like now that I'm thinking about it? Like, now there's speculation out here that Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise were an arranged marriage. It seems like this was almost an arranged marriage. Like the way she's acting. Think about it for a second.
That.
I can get that this is a forced marriage. I don't know if necessarily arranged, but I can definitely feel that she probably felt compelled. Yeah, I feel like she was probably feeling compelled and forced to be with this person. Absolutely. Now, arranged, I don't know if anybody like family or anybody like that was like, oh yeah, you gotta connect with this person, you gotta be together. But she probably felt like, oh yeah, this dude's giving me the time of day. On paper, everything looks good. I gotta get married. This is my man of God, and this is as good as it's gonna get. So she probably felt compelled. I think there was a strong compulsion.
Maybe he's got that munchy hunchy. You know, maybe she's like, yeah, just ride it out.
Maybe, and I don't know. Yeah, I think it's definitely for appearances too. I don't know if she necessarily wanted the clout of social media, but I think definitely the social status of being with somebody who, you know, has a ministry of relationships, and you know, I guess, and this is from her own post on Instagram, how she talks about how she, you know, dressed very much so like a tomboy, and how she's dealt with, like, I think it was sexual assault in her past too. And so I think she, like you said, I think there was a feeling of compulsion, you know, like this is as good as I'm going to get. Like I have to be in this marriage to reflect that she is, you know, worth being in, you know, being loved after, you know, being assaulted and dealing with some of the other issues that she dealt with as a kid. Like she said, she sought her father's affection, and, you know, she really didn't get that, from him. You know, she tried to be in sports and tried to be boyish and tried to, like, really connect that way. So she has some deeper rooted issues.
Right.
I'm projecting here because I ain't no mental health therapist. She ain't my client. She ain't even in my church. So I can't even say I pastor her. So I don't know. I'm just saying I think there's some strong compulsions.
So you said that she was trying to look at the other women he was with, to try to make herself more appealing to him. So she must have known.
I was gonna say, lighting and makeup, and
she talks about getting her face.
Candace is cute. I mean, she did her, she got the full length mirror in her house. You know what I'm saying? She lives in Orlando. She's right down the street from me, apparently. But
the Instagram girl,
the mistress,
one of
that one,
right?
The one that outed him initially. She did all the Instagram stuff you're supposed to do.
But let me. All right. So the story that I read said that he lavished her with gifts, money upwards of $1,000. I was like, that's not. He sent her $1,000 via Apple Pay, apparently. Yeah, listen. No. So I had a buddy once out here. He was, he made a lot of money. He was like, listen, man, if I like a girl, I might buy her a Camry or something. And he's like, that's about it. I was like, dude. I was like, okay. So I get, but like $1,000.
It's all relative. A bag is a bag is a bag. I mean, a free $1,000 in a trip somewhere, that's better than
he sent
better than most.
Her and her girls to Miami too, and financed that trip. So it was a little bit more than just the one-time Cash App. It was like,
why would you Cash App?
Well, I'm just saying that.
First of all, or Venmo or Zelle, whatever he did. But,
Apple Pay.
Apple paid her. But what in the world was he thinking about? Ooh.
Sex. So yeah, apparently he sent the girl to Miami with her girls, and so they could go living up on South Beach in a pandemic, which is wise.
Right, which is a whole other issue. Like, why are you out here, having girls flued out and whatever when we, in a daggone pizza pie? Like, I'm confused as to what's the motivation. Like, priorities.
Well, I mean, clearly this motivation was. I mean, there's no question about what the motivation was. I mean, duh. Sex, puss, we love it.
I mean, clearly, we'll do a whole lot. We will risk a whole lot. And again, circling back, if you have good sound theology and foundation about sex and sexuality, you're not going to go through all these random extremes and put your health and your life at risk over like just hooking up. Like, why are you doing that? And again, I get pleasure. I totally get you want to connect with folks, but you're supposedly married. No one forced you into those vows. You decided to do those on your own, but you're supposedly married. You have kids. So why are you out here in these streets in a daggone personal pan pizza?
In a Pantene Pro V. I don't know.
Right, in a Pantene Pro V. Why?
But to make things even better, because old sis, after letting us know that being cute was not her ministry, decided to triple down on this by getting on Al Gore's internet yesterday, which was Wednesday, to let us know that, y'all, this is not a bonnet. This is a helmet of salvation. This is not camo shirt. This is the breastplate of righteousness.
Man.
And said that she is adorned in the armor of God. So she don't care what we got to say about what she got on, because she is fighting spiritual warfare, and we will all be damned to hell for talking bad about her.
Oh.
Listen, I'm keeping her lifted, and I really am. And I say that, I know I'm laughing, but I said it in all seriousness too. Like, seriously, you got to keep her lifted, because the hyper spiritual talk is very, very telling. Like, it's not even the fact that she's like defensive and calling her bonnet a helmet of salvation. Like that, ma'am, that's just foolishness. Let's just call that what it is.
Down Black Panther.
Right. Like, ma'am, why? But it's like, even before she got on the whole, the helmet of salvation and breastplate righteousness and all that mess, she was always talking about spiritual warfare. Everything was a demon. Everything was a fight. Everything the spiritual warfare. And if you aren't in these, hyper spiritual circles, that just feels super off, even when you are in those spiritual circles, because we talk about very spiritual things being Christians, and that can sound like super weird to people who aren't Christians. Right. Like, I get that. But no, like, even being a Christian, this feels off, because everything, you're the center of your faith. And then what also made me like very leery, even before she made this video, because she made it the center of her marriage. The center of your marriage should not be a fight or a battleground. The center of your faith should not be a fight or a battleground. To me, this is just me talking. I'm not talking by occasion of the Spirit or under the anointing of the pastor. This is just Shianna saying that a marriage, for me, should not be a battleground or a battlefield or something that I gotta fight for. I would be exhausted if all of my energy had to be into fighting at home, when all day long we're already fighting various levels of oppression, being a Black woman, fighting at work, fighting with kids. We all have all kind of battles and unrest in our lives in general. And then I got to come home and fight for my marriage? Like, what in the world? No, like, I should be able to come home and unload and unwind and be soft and be vulnerable and have support. And yeah, there's going to be contention because we're human. So we're not always going to want to be around another human. Like, that's a thing. I get that. You're going to be irritated with another person, but it should not be a fight and a battleground that everything was a battle. Everything is a demon. Everything is not a demon. Everything is not worth the fight. Some things just need to exist. And marriage and companionship, yes, it requires effort, but a healthy marriage should not be a battleground. And healthy faith should not be a battleground that you have to fight and you constantly slaying and laying demons at every hand. At every hand. Even Jesus took a nap on a boat. He wasn't casting out demons this whole time here. My man took a nap on a boat. Jesus was hanging out, having meals. He was, right. Listen, he was for the Bible. He was fellowshipping. Yeah. He wasn't laying and slaying all the time. Like, I don't understand if the center of your faith is always some sort of fight or battle with the devil. Where do you have time to lean into grace and love and life and that more abundantly? That Christ did not say, I came so that you may slay the demons. No, he came that I could have life and that more abundantly. Yeah. That if the center of your faith is fighting, I don't want that kind of faith.
Well, there's a lot of radicalization. That's a word. You know what I mean? There's a lot of radicalization like that, and obviously, like, it's, I feel like I'm going to generalize here, but Black churches, it's a lot of like,
that's fair.
That is,
you got to fight the demon, but then also it turns into, like, in white churches, and what we're seeing in America is
always a battleground.
Joe Biden is the devil.
The devil.
Fight them.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyone that doesn't have our same ideology as the devil, go take it a step further. That's the same exact thing as what's going on with the Muslims. Like, there's, some Muslims are like grace and love and peace and harmony. Others are like, if they're not with us, they're against
burn it all.
Burn it all on the ground.
Yeah. So, and that's what you should be leery of any faith that is the foundation is fighting the enemy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because she was ready though, man. She had her helmet of solitude.
She had the whole armor of God on.
The whole armor. She went Ephesians 6 on us. She said, I got the helmet, I got the breastplate, I got the sword. Listen, I was waiting for some slides to come out for her to say, I got my feet, shod with the preparation of peace. I was waiting for the Nike slides. I was waiting for her to come and count it all down, like gird up her loins. I was waiting for her, the whole girdle to come up. Because gird up her loins and all that. I was waiting for the whole breakdown. She didn't break it all the way down for the whole armor.
And I think what's unfortunate in all of this is that it's because of her ongoing posting, she's made it about her. And people are focusing a lot on her and the things which are all valid. These are all valid conversations because, as we know, I was steeped in that. I don't know that I was that far gone, but I was close enough, you know what I mean? So it's like these are conversations I had heard, and ideas I had heard before, but it takes away from the fact that she is so busy spiritualizing what happened, and that we're losing what happened with the husband and what Derek did. Derek slipped. People cheat all the time. It's one thing, but it's become so much about the Bonnet ministry now, and the Bonnet being the helmet of salvation, that we're sort of pivoting away from. This is the problem. The man had a relationship ministry, and he was preaching hypocrisy the whole time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I don't like how people are blaming her
it's not her fault.
Right. Or that like, oh, like, because if he was cute, then he wouldn't have stepped out. Like, no, he would have stepped out. I don't care how she looked or what she did, because we saw this week too, or was it last week? You know, Saweetie and Quavo. Saweetie is baddie, and Quavo stepped out on her. Like, it don't matter what you look like. If jokers want to step out, they're gonna step out regardless, because they're fools. But so I don't like that the conversation is like, okay, this is why he stepped out. And I don't like how people are, you know, putting her in this position of like, well, why are you staying? You know, that she has to keep, you know, justifying. And we know that justification is coming from, honestly, a really hurt, broken place. And people are like, you know, she's stupid for staying. Like, okay, staying, this is obviously not a healthy relationship. But putting all of the onus of the relationship on her is like, no, she's not the one who cheated. She's not the one who is a whole fool, who had a whole following about relationships. She didn't have that. That was him. Like, why are, like you said, why are we shifting the focus from him cheating
into the dialogue too much?
And it might be because she feels like she has to, or maybe he's encouraging her. I mean, I can't believe that he went in his reaction video was talking about her too. Like, he adds to it.
Terrible. That was terrible.
That's crazy.
Like, I didn't watch the whole thing, so I can't imagine how she may have felt watching her husband react to her. That she felt like, okay, I gotta say something.
Yeah. Like I said before, clearly there's something in the Instagram model that he liked, because that's what he went after. But at the same time, you are absolutely right. You know, Jay-Z stepped on Beyonce. Like, there's no, if somebody's going to do it, they're going to do it. And
baddest in the game.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, Drew, one of our other relative distance guests, Drew Carter, said something to me once in the hallway. What up, Noodles? We were in the hallway. We were in high school. I remember I said, man, can you believe David Justice broke up with Halle Berry? He said, hey, man, for every girl in the world, there's a guy tired of banging her. And I was like, whoa. And I said, I walked the hallway with that one. I was like, oh.
He's speaking straight facts, though. Because it's got to be more than just, for you to be committed, it has to be more than just, you know, looks and the box.
This is a whole other conversation I want to open, and we cannot even do it because we'll be here all night. But I want to talk about people opening up to non-traditional relationships a little bit more.
Yes,
because monogamy is not for everybody.
It isn't. Consensual non-monogamy, polyamory, you know, non-traditional connections and covenant and relationships. Explore it, do it, go ahead, figure it out. It just needs to be consensual. Like, that's the other thing that a lot of that some people are like, oh, you know, why are people cheating when, you know, polygamy, polyamory is right there? And it's like, but it needs to be consensual. Like, you can't say you're exactly, you have to understand the terms. You have to, you know what you're getting into. Like, oh, poachers, you know, want to have an open marriage. Like, okay, but as long as people know what that is and define that for themselves, and they're happy and it's positive and it's equal and consensual, like, yes, go for it. But you can't say you in an open marriage, but you have vows to death to us part and come out, you know what I mean? Like, for you know, sickness and in health. And as the super saints say, you know, they don't say for poor or richer, they say for rich and richer and, you know, whatever. You saying all these vows and then all of a sudden like, oh, we in an open marriage. Like, no. It needs to be consensual, and it has to be, you know, equal parts, equal partners, and people, you know, don't have this power dynamic of one person makes all the decisions and all that jazz.
Right.
And also, like, even if you're in a poly relationship and you have rules and you break those rules, that's still technically cheating.
Exactly.
It is.
You know,
absolutely.
Still boundaries.
You know? But some people have the compulsion to cheat. Some people like, I have a friend who was in a marriage, and her husband was like, she called him on Instagram, you know, in DMs, and she's like, hey, listen, like, if you want to bring some girls in, like let's rock, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. And then she called him months and months later, like having I was like, some people just like to be shady. Some people are kleptomaniacs. They just like
the thrill of it, the thrill of doing something, clandestine and it's wrong, and so it feels better. I could see that, and you're probably right. But again, I think the root of it is because they feel that it's something wrong. Right. When you have a healthy sense of sex and sexuality, then there's no part of sex that feels wrong. So you don't need that thrill there because you're already fulfilling your pleasure in a way that's healthy and positive and affirming. The reason why they seek these, scandalous thrills of pleasure is because something in them tells them that this is morally wrong. But when you have a good sex politic, then you don't really have this idea of what's wrong and what's not wrong, because you've already entered into the conversation of sex and sexuality and pleasure from a good equal standing of like consent and from a healthy place. But it just boils down to people need to unpack their ideas of sex and sexuality.
Right. Yeah, knowing yourself, knowing who you want to be in a relationship, self-actualization.
Right. And then feel fine with doing role plays, spice it up, do other things that can, again, get your motor running. Like, I'm never going to yuck nobody yum, but it needs to be consensual. Like, we need to have...
Nobody's yum.
Unless it's a dirty Sanchez.
Unless it's... Again, what you do with your consenting partner ain't got nothing to do with me.
Like,
girl, I said, that's old hat. People just do what they want to do.
I'm just late. That's all. I'm late.
As long as it's consensual, ain't no problem with it. Do what you do.
While we got you here, I think another good thing to talk about was last week we talked about Kirk Franklin and that whole thing. Like, and I guess after we talked about it, Carla, I kind of came to the realization. I was like, okay, well, I think the biggest thing is, people living with this saintly idea of self, or people like Homeboy is saying, like, put them on pedestals. People put people on pedestals, and you actually see a little bit behind the curtains. Like, what was your reaction to that whole Kirk Franklin video?
So yeah, I come from a different place with that, because I have definitely been in situations with my parents where the relationship wasn't the most positive and it wasn't a really good connection, and so I know that I'm very biased when I see parents engaging with their children. Doesn't matter what age that children is. And I know a lot of people, like, that's their point of contention. Like, oh, he's grown, he's 30 something. He coming at Kurt like a grown man, Kurt can come at him like a grown man. Like, that's besides the point. Like, that's still your child. And it still hits the child, like their little self hears that, not their grown self, right? Like, as a whole,
That's a good point.
Counseling and trauma model that, depending upon how long they've been going through this contentious relationship, Carrie's little self is probably hearing that, not Carrie 30 something. So that's what I know, that I come from a very biased place because I've experienced that. At the same time, my issue with the Kirk and Carrie thing isn't the fact that he was cussing and fussing, because, saints cuss, and I know a whole lot of them that do. You know what I mean? Things may fly while we on the podcast too from my mouth, so saints cuss. It is what it is. Like, to me, profane language has nothing to do with your salvation. Neither does anything to do with your holiness, uprightness, or righteousness. It's language. Language is language, right?
Do you think that's a new?
A new thing? No, saints been cussing. They just don't tell folks.
No. I think that maybe people would be more accepting of cussing.
Oh, yeah, because you see the t-shirts like, I love God, but I cuss a little. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I cuss a little bit. Like, people do the whole, people I think are a little bit more understanding, but it's definitely been, around. And I think a lot of saints, their issue wasn't the fact that he was cussing on his son. A lot of saints, which is why I think Kirk went online and apologized to the world and not apologized to his son. He apologized to us for cussing, because some saints, especially the elders and pastors others that are definitely of that towing the church towing the church line, the respectability politics of the church, because respectability politics across the board is a mess. But in the church, there's that higher level of respectability. They were up in arms with what he was saying. But I mean, I remember back in the 90s and 80s growing up, there was preachers that would cuss over the pulpit. You know what I mean? Like, so cussing and listen, Jeremiah Wright and Bishop Larry Trotter was good for cussing in the pulpit. Let me tell you, he'd come to Flint and do a revival.
That's from Chicago.
Yep, he was from Chicago. Bishop Larry Trotter would come in for a revival and he would be cussing on the pulpit. I'd be cracking up. But so there's folks who've been cussing and fussing, and the saints. I mean, shoot, you got, who was it, Dorinda or Karen Clark Shearer that was preaching, was talking about niggas in the pulpit. Like, I don't care about these crazy niggas or something. She just said in the pulpit once preaching, and she called you. So she high church. Yeah. But so word choice really, I don't think, was a problem for me. The issue was that family dynamic. Yeah. That was just a very small example of probably what has happened over the years. And it's probably a very light example. To us, it seemed extreme, but it probably was a very light example of what they have gone through and that back and forth. And so that's kind of my perspective on it, that I think that what Kirk and what a lot of people have been doing in that whole church circle has been trying to protect his brand and come off as like, oh, these are my family problems. I'm sorry for cussing. I'm sorry that this was made public, right? I'm sorry that this was put out there. I don't want you all to think less of me because I'm dealing with this issue, but we all got issues kind of thing. And like, and Paul Carrion is out here, dealing with it on his own, because even his own mother kind of came out and was more speaking positively of Kirk than her own son. And so, and I know he has other mental health issues and other stuff going on too. And so I'm not absolving him of anything. I'm just saying that majority of the focus is on protecting Kirk's brand and trying to protect the family image, then just owning up to and saying like, yeah, our family's super messed up. We need to get some help, and please pray with us as we try to figure this thing out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to actively work this thing out with my son. Like, I feel like that should have been the focus more so than like, I'm sorry I let y'all down because I was cussing and fussing and my son's messed up, our relationship's messed up, but he grown, so he shouldn't have said that. That popped me off. And it's like, I feel like there could have been a better way of engaging this, but because the brand is the family man, and because the brand is Jesus, and a certain brand of Jesus, right? We're going to protect that.
Well, because I see such a similarity between the two situations that between the first one with
Derek Jackson with the
you're just trying to protect your brand because obviously this guy's self-important. I mean,
right.
Kirk Franklin has more reason to be, obviously.
Grammys and whatnot.
Albums and, yeah, but this guy, I don't know if Kirk Franklin talks in the third person as much as Mr. Jackson.
I've never quite heard him do it.
I hope Kirk does not talk to himself in the third person. But what's funny about both the Kirk situation and the Jackson situation is that John Gray.
Oh God, Jesus.
My man inserts himself into any drama.
Sit down and shut down.
When I tell you, I was like, nothing comes quicker than another problematic black man when another problematic black man's in trouble. Like he's ready. Like John Gray was present. He was like, oh, Kirk is in some drama? Present and accounted for.
Oh, Greg,
like,
I'm gonna call back. This was Spirit of the Girlfriend. We talked about this when Shianna was on here last time. The preacher that did the Spirit of the Girlfriend message.
Right.
Who was cheating on his wife too. Yeah. But he all in the comments on Jackson's video talking about like, oh, basically like, I hope they don't do you as wrong as they did me. Like you did a whole video about me when he's like, I didn't even sleep with another woman. I've only slept with my wife, but you did a whole video about me. And I hope people are, more gracious to you than they were to me. And I was like, bruh, listen, he is present and accounted for the mess. Like he is the definition of that meme that says like, think of the messiest person and watch it be a man. Like he is that. Like he is the messiest person in all of the church world.
Speaking of the comments, shout out to I can't remember the name, but somebody underneath her the video I saw, the wife's reaction was selling helmets of salvation. And then they had a Bonnet store, and I followed the thread, and they sold out. They sold
no.
out. Yeah, they
get your coins in the middle of a Ponderosa. Get your
People are asking, well, okay, so I ordered 3, and when's that coming? They're like, oh, we'll check the website. I'll send you an email link. They sold out. She's like, completely sold out. Give me 2 more weeks. I'll get some more.
Capitalism for the win. Listen, I'm not gonna knock anybody hustle. Get you a helmet.
She was earning followers. She had people on her. Like, I'm gonna make this pad thai. So we gonna do it.
Listen, you better make your coin. And I will tell you, I will never call this a bonnet again. Like, I swear, I think that's just burned into my lexicon now. Like, it's just there. It's there. Like, it's there forever now.
I wear helmets of salvation because, listen, sometimes I gotta wrap up, man.
Like, right. We need to get you. Listen,
I got a couple helmets of salvation, man.
Good. You gotta preserve it.
That's
know.
Right. That's right. I gotta keep. Yeah, I can't get them wet too much in the showers.
You gotta wrap them up, like
That's the armor of God going. So I wanted to briefly cover, and I know we've been here for a minute, but I wanted to also briefly talk about this whole ministry model, this business model, rather. These men. And Gregg, you're a man. These men in the church basically trying to counsel single Black women on what to look for. You have your, obviously, Derek Jackson with the missing consonants and vowels in his name. You have, well, he's not in the church, but Kevin Samuels on the other end, basically telling women why they suck.
He is the worst.
Your Steve Harveys. You have basically there's a business built behind men trying to tell women what to do when it comes to trying to find a man and how to avoid men like themselves. Because Steve Harvey, as we know, is on his 3rd wife after cheating on his 2nd wife with his current wife for many, many years.
Right.
Jackson.
Shout out to Glendale.
We have Derek Jackson. With you, but she's the mother of Lori Harvey, so respect.
Listen, Marjorie Harvey, I would buy her book. I've never read a Steve Harvey book, but if she ever write a book, I'm reading it because that woman, she got the keys.
Listen, so I wanted to briefly visit this because I did see a mutual friend of ours, Shianna, mention how this is a business model and how
it is.
We do have beautiful, wonderful, fabulous women who are getting close to 40 and are single, never been married, don't have any kids. And to me, it blows my mind, like, what is going on? But then you have these people pandering to this population. Correct.
Because they have money.
Yes. They're usually married. They're usually cheating.
No. I'm talking about the single women who they're
the women
to.
Oh,
no. They have money.
Yeah.
So they've got to spend it somewhere. Right? Maybe self-help books.
Right.
I mean, Steve Harvey was the first one that I ever really heard do it. I'm going to stay out of this for the most part, but he was the first person I ever heard do it. The only thing I can say about it is that it seems to me like, I said it earlier, it seems like a little bit of mansplaining, a little bit. I know you're saying it's not, but it kind of is, where you're like, well, here's why you're not good enough. Or here's why men aren't good enough for you, so feel empowered to make your own decision. And and both are dicey.
Yeah. Especially when not living what you're talking about. It's really hard to, I don't know, it's hard to take these guys seriously. And I fell victim to it. I was single till I was 30. So I was buying the books, what was the one?
What? There's so many. There's
something about I've kissed. What was the one? Kiss?
Oh, there's so many. I've kissed dating goodbye. My knight in shining armor.
No more sheets.
Oh, you had no. Well, no more sheets was Juanita. Well, I say Juanita was trying to get folks free too. But yes, same process. I mean, you got there was
like a lady or like a man.
Yeah. There's so many books.
There's so many. There's so much. Derek Jackson dropped a book in 2013 called A Cheating Man's Heart too.
Oh, memoir. Wait, is this memoir? Are these the life stories?
Wait a minute. Roll that back.
Based on a true story. Okay.
roll that back. You said Mr. Jackson dropped a book in 2013.
2013, Derek Jackson was missing consonants and vowels. Yeah, Cheating Man's Heart. He has a lot of books out.
I mean, come on now. I mean, even my what's old boy named Delivered? He has a book. Everybody, Andrew Caldwell. Everybody got books. He got books. Andrew Caldwell got all the books because come on, Amazon. You can self-publish and write all the books. And I say everybody can write a book. To be honest, if people want to write a book, they can write a book.
Right, relative distance book.
I'm impressed. Right. He has a book at 24.
Well, I mean, that's you put together. It might be a
pamphlet.
I was gonna say
right
ebook.
And I'm about to say, and that, like you just said, this genre of relationship advice, whether it's coming from a man or a woman, but the genre of relationship advice that is talking specifically to women to get them prepared for marriage, that is such a lucrative genre. Like you had, I forgot her name, that was out of Detroit, that had the whole like Get Wifey conference and wifey school, right? Like you have, it's men and women, but it is predominantly men talking to women, right? You'll never see a church conference of a woman talking to a man, but you will constantly see women conferences of men talking to women. And Bishop T.D. Jakes, I respect him, love his ministry, went to a few Women Thou Art Loose events with my mother back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But Women Thou Art Loose, that is a man talking to a woman. You had Dr. Miles Monroe, who had, was the Power of Praying Woman, I forget his whole conference, talking to a woman. Like, so even people who I, respect in their lane, even they are men talking to women, because that is a demographic that is created, that is completely a construct. The demographic of women who say like, okay, I'm trying to go to this thing or figure this thing out so that I can get married and have a man, that is completely constructed and fabricated based off patriarchal values. That is not something that intrinsically that we just feel like, oh, I'm not good enough and I need to go to somebody to tell me how to get a man. That's something that someone baked into us. We did not do that. Someone concocted that lie and then we consumed said lie. And so now we have a whole demographic of women trying to find the tools to, make that lie work for them, right?
Oof.
Because inwardly and mentally and spiritually, we know it's a lie. Like we can feel the disconnect because we're doing all the things that they tell us to do and we're not yet getting chose, right? It's not working. So we know the disconnect is there, but because we keep getting sold the lie, we keep buying into it too and try and make it true, right? But it's all patriarchy. Like it's all at the end of the day.
You're right though, because at some point, I mean, at least as far as I know from my minimal worldview, is that like in the 70s and 80s and 90s, it was like, books on like how to pick up chicks written by men, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was Cosmopolitan magazine, like how to please your man in bed, like take this quiz, right? So assuming that women were writing that, I don't know for sure. But at some point, I think Woman Thou Art Loose was the first thing I ever heard about, like where it's kind of like a ministry towards of a man telling a woman how she could be better prepared to be a wife. I'm sure there was something before that, but that was the first big one that I heard of in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no real like reciprocity in that, because there's no. But men, if it was a woman saying like, hey, like how to meet women,
just how to be a good husband.
That'd be a great book to read.
But no one would buy it because men are assumed that they come, to this earth, socialized and already assumed that they are whole beings and they're just waiting for the right partner, right? They're waiting for the helpmeet, right? So exactly right. Listen, because we all come in with our mess, right? But the assumption is that women have to be prepared to take care of the men and the men just have to exist. That's all you got to do. You just got to show up. Showing up is enough because you're the man, right? Like there's no other effort that you really have to do other than just be the man. Like you had the whole, like, what was it? Love and respect. Like, men need the respect and the women need the love and,
But there's a subset of men, there's alphas who I think you're talking about. There's the betas, man. There's those little weirdos.
Red pill.
who you wouldn't pay any attention to, like the nerds or the I don't know,
sure.
disparage nerds, but like guys who just aren't.
We're not nerd shaming on this podcast. No nerd shaming on.
No nerd shaming.
They don't know how to talk to women. I think there is a place for them to have something said to them about here's how you meet a girl.
Yeah, and they're I'm about to say, and they're all end up being on Reddit and become incels because the issue is that they still don't believe they have to fix anything. It's these women's fault who aren't looking at the good guy. Like, oh, you'll go past the good guy to get with this, hood jerk, Right. So you see all these comics and all these memes and all these accounts, whether it's on Reddit and Twitter and otherwise, of these people who are basically incels that are just like, oh, you women, you overlook us because we are good people, but you don't want to be with us. How about we don't be with you because you don't bathe? We don't want to be with you because you're whack. Like you have zero swag. But no. They're incels. It's like, no, these women are like whores who go after the bad guys. And again, patriarchy will tell them that.
It's little accountability.
Right. Even people who would view themselves as betas, they would still blame women. The women need to get it together to be able to connect with them, not the other way around. So I definitely believe there's a market for like, and we're talking very, gender binary things because there are people who don't fit into these gender constructs and these gender roles either. But I think there is
nonsense gender binaries.
Not nonsense, non-binary.
You said non-cis. Cis.
I'm about to say nonsense. Not cis. Yeah. So I mean, right. We're talking in very heteronormative terms. And there's people who don't fit that. But I think there is space for I think men who want to understand how to engage and be in relationship with a woman, right? And I think that it will never happen where a woman will enter that space and do that type of teaching. Like I don't think men will receive that from a woman because it's literally created that genre and that field is created for men to talk to women and men to talk to men. Like you said, the pickup artists, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's all men talking to other men that men don't want to hear from women because at the end of the day, they don't think that we have anything to value to teach them because the parts of womanhood is still undervalued.
But I bet if Chrissy Teigen wrote a book, How to Date a Supermodel, it would sell millions and millions and millions of copies.
You know what? I mean? Out of all the names you said, probably would be Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen could write that book. I think she could write that book. But you know what's funny? Sell. I bet a whole bunch of women would buy that book though.
Yep.
I bet you when you look at the demographic, because again, I don't think men are socialized to try and buy those type of self-help books. You know what I mean? Like I just think in general, men and boys are socialized to kind of feel like they already got it. Like they don't have to do that self-help work other than working out in the gym. Like that's the self-help they need is to like get your weight up, bro.
Let me say this. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I want Megan Thee Stallion to write a self-help book, and then I'll buy that.
Well, but on the other side, with men, if the book was being read, would be passed around through locker rooms. So there'd only be one. Yeah, there'd only be one copy sold.
Right, one copy
passed around. From hand to hand to hand.
Yes, yeah, they're not going to be seen at like Barnes and Nobles buying this. Like they're going to erase their search history. Like no, I can't have this sent to
is that before
my
or
house.
After the circle jerk?
Yeah, right at the same time, baby.
Same time. You two are wildin'. Y'all are wildin'.
Yo, this is good conversation. I am loving this. It's so much, and there's so much more to unpack here. Like, I don't even know, talking about toxicity and when to stay, when to go. Woo, there's so much here. We done talk about polyamory. We done talked about like the business model of the church. Like, what'd you say?
Oh, you froze for a second. I thought you were giving it a pregnant pause, but you're too frozen.
No, I was frozen, I guess, on your.
Oh.
Okay, but I'm back. Whatever. But we don't want to keep you all night, Shianna, even though we could.
Yeah, I know you're late.
Listen, I love that y'all invited me to come play. Like, one, that means that y'all enjoy talking to me, listen to me ramble, and be a hot mess.
Of course.
And two, I also love that I'm like y'all resident preacher friend, and that makes me very happy that I get to be on here and be like my full self.
That's what we.
I love y'all. I love y'all.
You have that, and I think I might have said this before, but you have that balance of both that I wish I had back in the day, where it's like you still, you're a minister, you're still a woman of faith, but you keep it real on the other end of things. You're sex positive, you know what I'm saying? You're open-minded. Like, it's just not something you see every day, and it's very refreshing. So that's why we love having you on.
Y'all are the sweetest.
People need to hear you because your voice is very strong, man. I think it's what people strive for. Like it's what they claim to. You're what people claim to be, but aren't really, because you actually don't realize it. So we love having you.
Y'all gonna make me cry. I'm all in my feelings now. How awesome and affirming y'all are. Like, for real, I love y'all podcast. Y'all are hilarious. So just being on here and chopping it up with y'all. One, it's like family because y'all are family. It's family for real. But truly honored to come and chat it up with y'all. Y'all are so talented and so gifted and amazing. So thanks for letting me just be on here and be random.
You said this earlier. You might have said this before we were recording, but you said that you are streaming TikTok.
I am.
Let me ask you a question about this. Have you ever fallen asleep watching TikTok?
Have I fallen asleep watching TikTok?
On your phone and just dozed off.
Just dropped it in your lap.
Or like you're laying on your tummy on the bed.
You know what? I feel like I have. And what's the really bad thing about it? Because TikTok just keeps looping. And I just wake up like, what is this? And so I feel like I have once before. And what's so bad too, because I like to listen to things when I'm falling asleep, like whether I'm like watching a show or I'll just listen to like a meditation or sounds or music or something. So I bought these like sleep headphones. Like, I wish I had them because Will judged me. Will judged me harshly. He was like, where did you even find these? They're on Amazon. He was like, why'd you order them? Because it's like this really comfy headphones, and like it's like a little headband, and it's so nice and comfortable, and the headphones are like in there, and it's Bluetooth, and it's amazing. And I feel like it was after I bought those headphones and I was watching TikTok that's when I fell asleep watching the TikTok, because my headphones were so comfy.
And I was just made for sleep.
They're specially made for sleep, and they're so comfortable. And I was just scrolling away on TikTok because TikTok got some shows, y'all. There's got people who, making skits. There's whole true crime. There's all kind. There's DNA drama. There's neighborhood drama. You got the funny stuff. You got the heartwarming stuff. I follow all.
App again. I
download TikTok. I have yet to make a video, but I follow so many cool people. There's like stripper talk. There is.
I'm interested. Look,
right. I'm telling you, there's all TikTok. There's baking TikTok. There's cooking TikTok. There's TikTok, kid stuff. There's so many accounts that I follow that is just so interesting. Who needs TV? Because I fall asleep trying to watch TV, but I can just be scrolling and like I'll stay engaged. But I did fall asleep with my sleeping headphones watching TikTok once.
Hilarious.
Speaking of which, this podcast is brought to you by unnamed sleeping headphones.
Listen, I'll send you the link to the ones I bought. Add that to the show notes. They're comfortable. And they keep a charge. Like, I can wear them joints all night. They're wireless, little Bluetooth joints, and this a little comfy, nice little headband.
I am intrigued.
I'm telling you, invest in some nighttime headphones. You will sleep better. But don't do that watching TikTok. Like, actually listen to some meditation and something that's listen to some worship music, something that's actually positive.
Helmet of salvation and the breastplate of righteousness.
Right, yes. No TikTok dances. So I don't be following a whole bunch of folks who do those TikTok dances because it's just, bring it on choreography. No, thank you.
That's very true. Spirit fingers.
Yeah, it's spirit fingers.
These are not spirit fingers. These are spirit figures. And these are gold.
Yeah, telling you. TikTok got some entertainers though, man. It's good.
I'll check it out.
Good watching.
I feel like I'm too old for TikTok because
I made a TikTok.
You did?
Well, for my 40th birthday, it was like our 41st birthday last year. It was a year ago.
I remember it.
I don't remember it.
I did the
makeup thing.
The makeup.
Oh, you did the makeup challenge. Okay. I'm about to say.
Don't rush that one.
Don't rush. I do remember that one, but you do pretty makeup, so that's really nice TikTok.
Well,
that's nice. Thank
you, Jackie.
Carla got shot in the face with a makeup gun. I'm just kidding.
Listen, I was about to be out here. If I had the knees, I'll be out here doing the bust it. No, you are not. See your pastor out here doing the busted challenge because I don't got the knees for it.
After Chloe Bailey did hers, I signed off. I was like, I'm done. I can't.
Which one? That's not the one where the girl was having sex, was it?
Wait, what? What challenge you talking about?
You watching the porno challenge,
right? You talking about what side of the internet we live on? What side of the internet you living on? Ain't no TikTok challenge.
Yeah, somebody showed it to me. I'm gonna have to. I'll send you the link to verify.
Of course they did.
But she's like, she does a busted challenge and like it clicks to like where you'd be if she was
getting it in.
Getting it in.
That ain't the busted challenge. I'm just talking about folks dropping it low.
We were on that side of Twitter that we were talking
about. No. It was someone showed me a preview to that side of Twitter. It's like, hey,
it exists.
I was like, oh wow, what's that? What's that link? Oh, you can't.
No, you have to link to the OnlyFans. It takes you eventually to the OnlyFans.
Right. Right, like all you get is the silhouette challenge joint. Then you got to sign up for the whole joint.
$39.95 a month. But no, I've been streaming. So I did binge WandaVision yesterday and today. I finished. It was good. Now, mind you, I was working. So I was sort of like on the computer, like, what's going on?
Halfway watching.
Yeah. So, but I think I got the gist of it. It was good.
Okay.
It was entertaining.
I'm off next week for spring break, so I'm going to try and watch it next week.
Yes. WandaVision is good.
And it's only 30-minute episodes, so you can finish it in 4 hours.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Give me more suggestions for spring break.
I'm watching a show called The One. I don't know if I
watched The One. I finished it.
Yeah. Is it good? Should I keep pushing through or?
Yes, finish it, but it pissed me off.
What is this on? Tell me more.
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting premise. It's about some woman who like starts a DNA matching company. Like there's like something in people's DNA. Like there are ants that makes like you can basically link up to your perfect match. And she made some business
romantic match. Okay.
Yeah. Like the person you're supposed to be in love with. And then
it's good. I watched that. Binged that last weekend.
I've been watching Snowfall on one episode.
I need to get into that. Will's been watching that without me because I have yet to watch it.
William.
Yeah, it's a long. Yeah, it's a long, okay. It's a long walk. I mean, they're like season 4, but it's only like 40 episodes, but that's a lot.
It's only 40 episodes.
Listen,
it's a lot. It's a lot of this. That sounds like a huge. After I said
that sounds like
it's all right. It's all right.
I'm gonna go lay down. Watch this time.
No, I can't think of anything else I've been watching.
That's been it. Yeah, I did The One. I did WandaVision today. So
no reality TV shows, anyone?
I've never been into reality. Well, I tried to get into 90 Day Fiance and I was binging that for a while, but I messed up. I tried to start from the beginning. I just needed to just catch up where we are now. Yeah. But that's the last thing I watched. Like I haven't been heavy into reality.
No Love After Lockup. Season finale was last week.
You know what it was?
I love some love. Now listen, that's one that I tune in weekly is Love After Lockup. I love some love. Committed to some love and life after lockup. I watch
that because the problem I've run into, I gave up on reality TV because I was watching like Basketball Wives. Housewives of Atlanta, and it was leaving me in a bad mood. Like I was lashing out at my family when it went off, and I was like, "This isn't good for me." So I stopped watching it. But there is stuff that I enjoy. So like maybe a Love After Lockup, maybe more my speed.
Watch Love After Lockup or some Married at First Sight because that's also a mess.
I heard that one.
I've heard about that.
Especially talking about all this church stuff that we're talking about. There's a couple on there.
Episode on about Chris and what's her face.
Paige. Yeah. Now that's one thing that I will watch randomly is Married at First Sight, but Love to Lock Up. I'm on time, present and accounted for Love to Lock Up. But new season starts June.
Perfect. But, so I can start there, and then we can watch it together.
Yeah.
That's I've been on WandaVision. That was it.
Like, so you're a reality dude, even though you were on a reality show.
Yeah. Maybe that's why.
Maybe. You can't know the behind the scenes stuff of
reality TV. I'll watch like a 60 Days In. That's reality, right?
What's 60 Days In?
60 Days In? Oh, the first 60 days when they get locked up.
Yeah, no. There's two. There's the first 60 days, the first 90 days, and then there's 60 Days In where they plant people in to like basically they're snitches. They put them in.
Oh.
And they're like fake people that they come in and but it's weird because it's getting kind of meta because all of a sudden people know. Oh, there's cameras.
Who the mole is.
But they're like, oh, it's so dangerous. Like these people know that if there's cameras around, you can't murk anybody on camera.
Right.
I think I watched 5 seasons. One dude got beat up. Kind of. They threw some hands real quick and he caught a couple, but that was it.
How disappointing for him.
Yeah.
How disappointing.
And the viewers.
You want more violence. Like where's my prison break? Right. Yeah, where's my prison riots?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I signed up for violence and shanking.
Exactly. Yeah. Where's the shanks? Yeah,
you did not choose violence today.
Right.
Yeah.
I was promised more stabbing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've been falling like Shianna. I've been falling asleep a lot watching TV. So I'm trying to watch Warrior on HBO, like the weekly.
There's so many good things about that. Awesome. Is it good?
I keep falling asleep. I'm on season 2. I keep falling asleep. So I constantly have to go back and rewatch. So I'm not getting the rhythm of it. Yeah,
okay.
So I don't know, man.
I'm gonna try and watch all this over spring break.
WandaVision's good. Snowfall's definitely the best show on TV, though.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to start taking your time with that, watch one when you can. You'll have fun.
And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier just started, so you can kind of jump into that. That's brand new.
Okay. So. Is that good?
I don't know.
I haven't started it.
I haven't watched it.
Well, because I don't want to watch it week by week.
No, I'll wait and binge it.
Oh, you want to binge? Okay.
Yeah, I hate watching shows week by week.
We're spoiled rotten.
Yeah. I watched another movie this week that was really good.
Was it good?
It was called the map of little pieces.
What?
It was on Amazon. It's a time loop movie. It's about this guy who's in a time loop and he finds some girls on Amazon Prime. It's called a map of perfect places or something like that.
Okay.
It's an Amazon original. It's gonna be. It was cool. I like time loop movies, although I've watched so many recently that I think I will after.
You're in your own time loop.
I thought it was.
I was say, are you in a time loop, or were you incepted? I'm confused. What just happened?
If I was, you'd be seeing some amazing things right there. like when you say something, I'd be saying it at the same time verbatim. You know what I'm saying? I'd be having some fun. But
okay.
Last week I mentioned Boss Level. Did I mention that, right, Carl?
I did add that to my list. I'll watch it one day.
That was a time loop movie as well. So,
Well, speaking of time loops, we want to acknowledge that you are advancing to the next time loop of your life. You are going to be celebrating a birthday when this episode drops. I know that you are anti-birthday, anti-celebration, anti-acknowledgement of turning another year older, but in the year of COVID pandemic, being thankful for being on this earth, we are going to acknowledge the birthday of G.Dot, who is slowly advancing or quickly advancing to 40. So in the spirit of relative distance, I'm going to do a happy birthday, and I'm not going to rap. I'm just kidding. But
by the way, Shianna, have you ever heard Carla does hip hop?
No.
Carla raps?
No.
We'll save that for after.
She made it in my studio, by the way.
We'll save that.
My goodness.
Nothing that anybody should hear in public.
So now we have, she is an actress, a singer, come on, Cinderella, and now you're a rapper? You're like a triple threat.
Triple threat of what?
Actor, singer, rapper. You're out here.
Podcaster,
social worker. I'm running out of fingers. Like, ma'am.
You're out here making a difference.
I want to hear the raps.
Well, we'll save that for off the air.
Oh.
So off the air. So because we've been here for forever, we are going to release our viewers or our listeners as well. Thank you, Shianna, for joining us on this episode. It was a great conversation about Derek Jackson missing the consonants and vowels and all of the other muck that comes with that. So we loved having you on. We cannot wait to have you back because we will do that.
Listen, I will be present and on time.
All right. You were here. We gave you like 2 days notice and you were here. So yes.
Y'all got me up past my bedtime and everything.
I looked at the clock like, oh no.
Oh, it's fine. I ain't even tired talking with y'all.
All right. Hey. So for all of you listening, thank you guys again for your continued support of Relative Distance. You can find us on Instagram at Relative Distance Pod. You can find us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Relative Distance. Send us an email to relativedistancepod@gmail.com and find us wherever you stream your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, etc. I can't even name them all tonight. So with that, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to our little show. Spread the word so we can become a bigger show. With that, anything y'all want to share for the good of the people before we let them go?
Yeah, if you can go on my e-store, I'm selling helmets of salvation that are currently, it's a 2-for-1 deal going on this week. Just hurry up and get them before they sell out because they're moving quick.
We need to have merch. Anything, Shianna, you want to share with the good of the people?
Oh, just wear your mask, get the vaccine if you can, stay home. Can't breathe. I don't know why. Like y'all, G.Dot selling a bonnet is just laying me out. I don't know why that visual of him just having an Etsy store is just really tickling me.
Relative distance.
Yeah, relative distance. Yeah, I was like, I just see the logo there.
You might be onto something. You might be onto something.
I am tickled.
Listen, and for me, all I have to say is be kind to each other. And if your name that you were born with came with consonants and vowels, please use them.
Use them all.
Use them all.
You won't let that go.
Don't piss me off because I'm angry. And with that, we will see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace. Chicken grease.